On that desolate hilltop of thorns, it is said that on moonless nights, the ghost of God appears, cold eyes and a sad smile, as if waiting for a criminal to pay. Thorn Hill was a place shrouded in silence and shadow, tucked away on the edge of a forgotten village. Locals rarely dared to venture there, especially after dusk. Stories passed down through generations spoke of a time long ago when a man, whom some believed to be Christ, was crucified upon the very summit of the hill. Since then, strange whispers and eerie lights haunted the area, and many swore they had seen a ghostly figure roaming the twisted thorns at night. When Daniel, a young journalist hungry for truth, arrived in the village, he was met with wary glances and hushed warnings. "Stay away from Thorn Hill," an old woman whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "The spirit there does not forgive." But Daniel's curiosity only grew stronger. Determined to uncover the secret, he decided to spend a night on Thorn Hill itself. As twilight fell, the sun dipped below the horizon, and the air grew colder. The trees seemed to close in around him, their gnarled branches scratching the sky like skeletal fingers. A heavy silence enveloped the hill, broken only by the distant howling of the wind. Daniel set up his camera and notebook near a weathered stone cross, its surface cracked and worn by time. Shadows danced in the pale moonlight, and a strange chill crawled up his spine. The villagers' warnings echoed in his mind, but he forced himself to stay still, to watch and wait. Hours passed, and just as Daniel's eyes began to droop, a faint glow appeared on the ridge, the unmistakable shape of a figure, cloaked in shadow yet radiating an unnatural light. The figure stood motionless, its eyes gleaming with a cold and terrible purpose. Daniel's heart pounded. This was only the beginning. Daniel's breath hitched as the ghostly figure remained still atop the ridge. The air around him seemed to thicken, pressing down like a heavy fog. Suddenly, Daniel glimpsed fleeting movements, dark silhouettes darting between the thorny bushes. A cold sweat coated his skin despite the chill of the night. As minutes passed, the figure's eyes seemed to pierce through the darkness, locking onto Daniel's trembling form. An overwhelming sense of dread washed over him, mixing with a strange compulsion to approach. The villagers' tales were not mere superstition. Something ancient, something vengeful, was awake on Thorn Hill. He forced himself to stand, grip tightening around his camera, knowing there was no turning back. The night was far from over. As Daniel stood among the ancient stones, a sudden, bone-chilling cold enveloped the air. The faint whispers turned into anguished wails, echoing through the twisted branches like a dreadful chorus. Shadows thickened around him, and the ghostly figure of Christ emerged again, this time closer, its eyes burning with an unholy fire. Daniel's heart pounded violently, but he forced himself to stay rooted. The figure raised its spectral hand, pointing accusingly. Visions flooded Daniel's mind, scenes of betrayal, cruelty, and suffering etched into the hill's cursed soil. The ghost was passing judgment, replaying the sins of those who had defiled this sacred place. Suddenly, the earth trembled, thorny vines reaching out like grasping hands, threatening to trap him. Daniel struggled, fighting panic as the supernatural forces closed in. Yet, amidst the chaos, after a miraculous moment of silence, the ghost slowly faded into the night, leaving behind a rare sense of peace atop Thorn Hill. Daniel stood there, his heart pounding, yet filled with an unusual calm. He realized that the ghost was not only a force of punishment, but also a warning and an opportunity for redemption. Returning to the village, Daniel decided to write the true story, not just about the supernatural mystery, but about suffering, forgiveness, and compassion. Thorn Hill was not just a place of darkness and horror, but a testament to the power of faith and gratitude. On that desolate hilltop of thorns, it is said that on moonless nights, the ghost of God appears, cold eyes and a sad smile, as if waiting for a criminal to pay.